Ladies and gentlemen, I warmly welcome you to our event. Today's event, dedicated to 30 years of regaining independence, restoration of territorial integrity and youth cooperation. I would like to give floor Mr. Emadrish, Chairman of the Confederation of Young Leaders. Please.
Your Excellency, Mr. Nagif Hamzaev, Your Excellency, Dr. Ashraf Shikaliev, Mr. Subhash Goyal, Mr. Sundar Singh, dear delegates, Namaste. It is indeed a great day as well as an auspicious occasion, since today we are joined by a very dynamic parliamentarian from Azerbaijan who also who who also happens to be a good old friend of India, and he is currently here in New Delhi to promote the common cause of promoting our bilateral and people-to-people relationship at large. Please accept my heartiest welcome to you, Your Excellency. At the outset, I express my deepest solidarity with the government and the people of Azerbaijan on the occasion of the Azerbaijan's 30 years of regaining independence. I wish the ongoing smart city, smart village, and green energy-led process of reconstruction of cities, villages, and cultural heritage sites all success. Both India and Azerbaijan are carrying out reform and opening up. India is building the new India, and Azerbaijan is building a smart Azerbaijan. Development strategies of both the countries call for even greater cooperation. Ladies and gentlemen, dear friends, the historical monument of Ateshkha is a testimony of our shared cultural heritage. We are two youthful nations with a very young demographic dividend. The sound bilateral relationship and friendly cooperation have provided solid basis for youth-to-youth cooperation and exchange mechanisms. Dear participants, the future of Azerbaijan and India lies in your hands. For this dialogue, I believe you will further consolidate understanding, get better ideas, and contribute more wisdom to the development of our bilateral relationship. CIVIL will continue to work with the embassy to institutionalize various exchange mechanisms in the days and the years to come. I once again wish to thank the learned ambassador of Azerbaijan for this wonderful reception, and I wish the learned member of parliament all success in his very productive and brief visit to the national capital. Thank you very much. The floor is all yours. Thank you, sir.
I am Sundar Singh, Deputy Secretary, Ministry of Youth Affairs and Sports. Your Excellency, the Ambassador of Azerbaijan, on behalf of the Ministry of Youth Affairs and Sports, Government of India, we welcome His Excellency and the Dr. Ashraf, the dynamic Ambassador of Azerbaijan, and His Excellency, Mr. Nakif Hamzaev, MP, and youth leader from Azerbaijan. You will be glad to know that an MOU between the Government of India and the Government of Azerbaijan is under consideration and is likely to be finalized soon. I welcome again and all. Wonderful.
I would like to invite His Excellency Mr. Ashraf Shikaliev to share his opinions with us.
Distinguished audience, it is lovely being here, and Confederation of Young Leaders is a unique organization. It is an organization that unites young people passionate for the future of the country, which has vision and which do not afraid of responsibility to shoulder it. They are the future of every country, and it is a privilege to be partner in this event with Confederation of Young Leaders. Also, very pleased that Honorable Deputy Secretary of Ministry of Youth is with us today, and what is important is that we are having here a very distinguished person, the person that India is proud of, the person that I personally call one of the gurus of tourism of India, Mr. Goyal. And I'm particularly happy that distinguished member of parliament of Azerbaijan, the co-chairman from Azerbaijani side of the interparliamentary friendship group that is to be established, Mr. Nagif Hamzayev, graced us today with his presence. Today we are celebrating the event that is multifaceted. So 30 years ago, Azerbaijan regained its independence. And regaining its independence is an important step in every country's future development. Today, 30 years after, Azerbaijan is a prosperous, modern, beautiful country. A country with strong economy, a country that is moving forward with large paces. And here, I want to say that looking back, for 30 years, we were longing to restore territorial integrity of Azerbaijan because we suffered from foreign occupation, and the neighboring country, Armenia, occupied 20% of the territory of Azerbaijan. Now, last year, during the liberation war, we call it the Patriotic War, during the 44th day of that war, we managed to restore fully our territorial integrity. So this is an extraordinary, huge achievement. Now, while we were happy to return the territories, with you, the future leaders, I want to share that. Do you know the word herbicide, what it means? Does anyone know what this word means? Believe me, very recently I didn't know what it means either. That is normal. But I want to show you 3 cities of Azerbaijan. The 3 cities of Azerbaijan in the territories that we returned from under occupation. This is the city of Agdam. You see, only walls. This is a purposeful killing of city, herbicide. That is the meaning of the word. Now, this is the city of Fizuli. The same situation, professionally destroyed city. Thank you. Thank you. So this what means the word herbicide, and this is the reality. So liberated territories and restoration of our territorial integrity, it has a price tag. The price tag to restore all these destroyed cities and villages. Now, people who live there, they have to return. For them to return, it has to be rebuilt. But people are living in beautiful, for almost 3 decades, they were living in beautiful city of Baku and other cities of Azerbaijan. Now, for them to return, it has to be rebuilt as smart cities and smart villages. It has to be very attractive for people to come and settle there. It has to be very safe. And that is why the Honorable President of Azerbaijan announced that these liberated territories will be rebuilt as a green energy zone. Now, what it means? It means that the foreign companies that possess technology in helping these territories to be revived, reconstructed as smart cities and smart villages, are welcome to step in. Now, what it means with you, distinguished young leaders, it means young leaders are those who are not afraid to establish startups. It means Indian startups who are in renewable energy, who are in high technology, who are in construction, who are in information and communication technologies. They can come and they can contribute and they will be gaining money there because huge money will be poured there to reconstruct these territories. These is opportunities. So as a young leaders, Confederation of Young Leaders, you spread the word among the young entrepreneurs, the people with passion, the people who want to change the world to the better. They have an opportunity to come and help in the big reconstruction projects in Azerbaijan. And I want to remind one thing. So before pandemic, we were talking with distinguished Mr. Himadrish, and we were planning for 20 people of Confederation of Young Leaders to visit Azerbaijan. I hope that next year, in year 2022, we'll be able to realize this objective, and the first visit of Confederation delegation to Azerbaijan will take place. In Azerbaijan, we also have very passionate young people's associations, organizations. It is Asan Volunteers, very strong and dedicated organization. It is the Ministry of Foreign Affairs volunteers. And young leaders, you should learn the skills, how to talk to people. That is important for leader, to talk to people. So Asan is providing services to people, population. And volunteers are helping the people, multiple people coming, they're helping them to fill in documents, to assist them in going to the right place, to assist them in follow-up on their applications. And that gets them skills. Skills how to help people, how to talk to people, how to care for people. So this is important. And of course, diplomacy is also important for young leaders because it is your responsibility to take India to the brighter future. So long live India-Azerbaijan friendship, and I hope that with this event we'll set a strong foundation for youth-to-youth cooperation. Thank you.
I would like to invite distinguished Member of Parliament, Mr. Nagif Hamzayev. And as you already know, he also represents young leaders from Azerbaijan side. Please.
Excellency, Honorable Ambassador, young leaders, ladies and gentlemen. I am honored to be here and delivering a speech in front of you on behalf of the Parliament of the Republic of Azerbaijan as the head of the working group on Azerbaijan-India interparliamentary relation. A few days ago, we celebrated the Independence Restoration Day of the Azerbaijan Republic. The first year on independence in 1991 was very difficult and tragic for our country. And knowing the situation, Armenia took advantage of the negative process taking place in our country. As a result, Armenia occupied 20% of the internationally recognized territories of Azerbaijan Republic. Including myself, thousands of innocent youths, children, women, the elderly suffered from the results of this occupation for the last 30 years. We lost our families, beloved ones, we lost our home, we lost our childhood, in the face of innocent babies brutally killed during these horrific events. However, Azerbaijan has always been devoted to the negotiation process. Over the past years, Azerbaijan has committed to the principles of settlement and tried to reach peace without bloodshed. But Armenia deliberately stopped the negotiation process on September 27 and attacked our position by committing provocations. Therefore, Azerbaijan was forced to take action to stop Armenian armed forces and ensure the safety of the civilian population, and liberated its lands. Today, after liberation, Karabakh is going along the path of development. The new situation in the region promises good prospects not only for our country, but the whole region. Reintegration of the liberated territories into the country's overall economy, new international transport and logistic opportunities will contribute to the formation of security, stability, prosperity, and cooperation in the region. I strongly believe that India will become one of Azerbaijan's key partners, not only in the revival of Karabakh's economy, but we will also enhance the existing cooperation in all areas of mutual interest, including political, strategic, trade, economic, peace and security, science and technology, and cultural fields. Finally, I want to say that we all understand that any war has brutal and tragic results, and no matter who wins on the battlefield, all sides lose and the end. Whereas young leaders of the world should cooperate to achieve sustainable peace not only in our region but all around the world. That's why, once again, I repeat, let's protect peace together and build greener, safer, and a better future for all. Seizing this pleasant opportunity to wish strong, healthy, and everlasting prosperity to the friendly people of India. Thank you for your attention.
If anybody wants to, I would like to invite Mr. Cohen to share his opinions with us. Please, Mr. Cohen.
Excellency, the Ambassador of Azerbaijan, Excellency, Mr. Najif, the great youth leader and member of parliament from Azerbaijan, Honorable Deputy Secretary Mr. Sundar Singh from the Ministry of Youth Affairs, President of the Confederation of Young Leaders, and distinguished leaders of the succeeding generation of India. Thank you. I'm honored that today I've had the opportunity of speaking with young leaders because I've been president of Delhi University Students' Union, and that is how I got into travel and tourism business, because I took a student delegation to Japan, and when you take a delegation of 15 people, you get the 16th ticket free. So you see, so that is how the travel bug bit me. And we have another company. My company is STIC Travel Air Charter Group, but STIC stands for Students Travel Information Center. And now we have a separate company dedicated to student and youth travel, which I am the chairman. And this company issues the UNESCO. It's the only company recognized by UNESCO to issue the International Student Card. So, Excellency, my first introduction to your beautiful country was at His Excellency's Ambassador's house. He's so passionate of selling his country that he showed us a beautiful film. And ever since that time, I have seen that beautiful film. I want to go to your beautiful country. And I had all my plans. And Excellency told me, yes, he'll issue the visas and everything, and he'll introduce me to the tour operators there so that we can start tourism between the two countries. He also said he'll introduce me to the Azerbaijan airline and we can start an air route. But unfortunately, we had the COVID-19 and, everything was put to a deep freeze. But it is rightly said that it is the darkest before dawn, and every dark cloud has a silver lining. So I think now the time has come, and Excellency Mr. Najib, you have come at a very appropriate time when India is reopening. From 15th of this November, we'll have, e-tourist visa starting, and soon we'll have, scheduled international flights starting. So we would like, and I'm happy that this 20-leader delegation that will be going, and we would like to offer them, tickets at cost price without making any profit, so that, more and more people can travel. And definitely, there will be one free ticket in 20. So, Excellency, today is also a historic day because I'm grateful to the Ministry of Youth Affairs and I'm grateful to Mr. Sundar Singh that in spite of today being a parliamentary committee meeting of the Ministry of Youth Affairs and all the people being busy, I spoke to him at midnight and I think he was kind enough to come. That shows the commitment of the Government of India towards youth. Excellency, we have a Ministry of Youth Affairs and as mentioned, an MOU is soon going to be signed. It's under consideration. And I'm sure India has the largest young population in the world. And I was amazed to see the reconstruction that is, going to take place. I have just sent a message to my very dear friend who is doing for the Prime Minister's, reconstruction program. They are building 5,000 low-cost houses. One project is there in Nagpur, and they have a factory here. Within 7 to 10 days, they can build a house. And it is at 1/3 the cost of a normal construction house, and it is more strong than the cement house and a concrete house. So I immediately sent him a message if he can come to India International Center and we'll organize a meeting. But if it's not possible for him, then how long you're here, Excellency? Only 2 days. So I'm sure with the help of His Excellency, we'll organize a one-to-one meeting with them. So this event will become a beginning of a relationship between the two great countries. And that will give me an opportunity also to visit your beautiful country. And with these words, I once again express my deep sense of gratitude to the young leaders and their president, and also to the Ministry of Youth Affairs for having accepted our invite to be here, and also to His Excellency, one of the most, I'm not saying it on his face, but I say it behind his back also, that amongst all the ambassadors I've met, and I've met more than 100 of them, he's one of the most dynamic. And he's very active in spite of having very limited staff and resources at his command. I think he does much better than what others do. So once again, it's a great opportunity. I'm also thankful to our media people who have joined us today, particularly from Doordarshan and from Travel World Online and Mr. Krishnan from the Economic Times. So we are really grateful to you, and with your help, we shall make this a great event. Thank you, and God bless you.
Thank you for sharing your ideas with us. If anybody want to speak or has question.
Azerbaijan, 5 very different artists take another look at the country in their own unique style.
Everywhere you look in Azerbaijan, there's another amazing view, another great character. It just never stops. You have to take another look, and then another.
Baku is a city of the most amazing contrasts. Ancient and modern, crazy and chill. I need 3 lives to take it all in, to take another look.
Guess I gotta get up on another one. I can make a grown man wanna run out my way. Whoa, whoa, what you say? Oh, whoa.
But it's the people who make it all come alive.
I look at these walls and I can see when they were brand new and the people who built them and what their lives were like, and it feels just like yesterday.
I can't keep up with Azerbaijan. It has so many challenges for me. Cliffs, desert, mud volcanoes, mountains, Caspian Sea. It just goes on and on.
Azerbaijan is a country that excites all senses. So many textures, tastes, sounds, scents. There's so much to explore, to take another look.
Azerbaijan, take another look.
It seems you had a question. Please.
Thank you so much for according me this opportunity to be here. All credit goes to the Confederation for Young Leaders. Frederick Kawe, final year mechanical engineering at the Delhi Technological University. And also, I just started the diploma course in governance and international at the Indian Institute of Governance and Leadership. My question, Your Excellency, during your lecture, you really mentioned a very important part where you said, Azerbaijan, forgive my pronunciation, is one of the country which is really focusing on smart cities. So is also India, as we have seen from the great city of Noida. They're really taking it seriously because the future is smart. And as a youth, I would like to inquire from Your Excellency how you making sure that the youth startup, as you mentioned in your speech, really have the opportunity, or are you facilitating the involvement of youth to take opportunity, the great projects which will be coming up as you plan to build the smart cities? How are you making sure that the youth startups are involved or win projects, because there are so many bigger companies there? How are you trying to make sure that the youth startup can have space in those projects, because there are so many established companies? Thank you, Excellency.
Very relevant question, very wise question. But we are talking about the smart cities. And smart is high technology. And smart is some product that does not necessarily should be associated with big companies. It could be a bunch of very creative people that together involved in some, I don't know, software design, and that software does something that makes people's lives easier. So those startups, I mean, the startups, you know that 95% of startups, they fail. But those 5 who really survive, and they can come up with a product that is attractive for people, they have a chance to participate in these projects. The competition will be there, Nobody is eliminating competition. But at the same time, the startups, those that proved and survived, and they have the fantastic product, they can come and present. And they will be listened, and there will be selection committee. And if they can contribute, this is a vast amount of money that will be poured in this reconstruction of liberated territories. They can benefit from it. So there are chances. There are no guarantees, but of course, the opportunities is there, and those who come, apply, they have a chance to participate and benefit.
Anybody else?
Good morning, Your Excellency. I'm Kashish Kundan from the University of Jawaharlal Nehru, and I'm pursuing my Korean studies and also the Diplomacy and Governance diploma from Indian Institute. My question to is that, as he asked, that you are building smart cities and smart villages. So, what are the relevant avenues that the Indian startup should be focusing on, as the geographical location of Azerbaijan and India is quite different, so the needs must also be quite different. So where should the Indian startups and young leaders be focusing on so that they can invest and actually, gain opportunities in Azerbaijan? Thank you.
Thank you for your question. The governance here does not teach. The governance does not teach the design of the product. So the companies that are startups, they design their products and they should market their products. And if we are talking about the smart cities and smart villages, you have some understanding that smart, it means that more advanced, not traditional villages, not traditional cities, because it should be so attractive that people living in the capital of Baku move to these reconstructed territories, get there established, and they know that their future is associated with those territories. That is why my understanding is that there is more sophisticated, services, IT services in those villages, in those cities. And those services are provided by professional companies, and the merit is professionalism. That is why the specialized companies, they should come up with their pieces of products that would create this big mosaic of what is called the smart city and smart villages.
Thank you.
Pleasure.
Okay, please.
Good morning. My name is Alisha Siddiqui, and I'm from Manav Rachna Institute. My question is that, are there any provisions made to incorporate sustainable development goals given by the UN to on the reconstruction of these cities?
The question to whom?
To the distinguished.
All right, thank you.
You have to answer all the questions.
Lovely, lovely. Of course, sustainable development, it has a history, of sustainable development goals. They have been decided, they have been discussed. And I had a privilege to be part of the delegation of Azerbaijan to the United Nations. So I was stationed in the mission in New York. So I participated in those discussions when the concept of sustainable development was being discussed. Of course, it is approved. It is a government projects, programs, responsibility to incorporate in development the sustainable element. And sustainability, it's economic sustainability, it is the environmental sustainability, so overall package. So now, of course, you saw that sustainability is not granted. because wars, they destroy sustainability. You have to reconstruct. The mining, I mean, there are a lot of mines in the liberated territories. That is not sustainable. You cannot grow there. You cannot develop something, establish the factories unless you remove all the mines and make it safe for people to come. So you have to do it. And then it comes the development now. They talk that development destroys ecology. So yes, we see that the plastic, have to fight plastic, that is the pollutant. But you know what is, in Azerbaijan, they're also moving from plastic. COVID pandemic, you noticed it, affected the plans of fighting plastic, right? Because all of a sudden, everything had to be sterilized, put in plastic bags. So, but the time will come after COVID, and we'll revive these programs. They are already reviving. I should say that a couple days ago, I had a meeting with wonderful startup, Indian startup, and they are taking the waste plastic and they are doing out of those waste plastic some items. So plastic items, but from waste plastic. And they are having now test factories in 4 states, and they want to go abroad. By the way, this is what we are talking about, the leadership ability. They want to go abroad, that's why they came to the embassy to go to the market of Azerbaijan. And I said that would be glad to help, given the test results in those 4 states. So they're having the test sites there, they're having production from waste into plastic items, and they will be sharing reports. And if it proves financially viable, then it's wonderful technology that they would share with Azerbaijan, and we as an embassy would facilitate such initiatives.
I am Bamba from Ivory Coast, or Côte d'Ivoire in French. I'm also a final year in computer engineering in Delhi Technological University. So since we are talking about the youth and the diplomatic relationship, I want to understand something. If he can tell us about the difficulties that he has faced while he was trying to be a member of parliament, and right now, what are the difficulties that he's facing as a young person, even in his country? Because I believe humans are the same everywhere, and even for we who want to be in politics in our country later, I want to have some insight about the difficulties that he is facing. Thank you.
It's not difficult. We need to work hard, and we can do it. It's not difficult for my country. You can do it too. Okay. If you need advance, you can write me, and I send you all the information if you need. I think it's no problem. All youngs can do it. Okay, don't.
Where there is a will, there is a way.
Thank you very much to the CYL and your His Excellency. I'm Jasmine Sharma. Currently, I'm pursuing my law degree and I'm in my 4th year. I'm pursuing my law degree from Vivekananda Institute of Professional Studies. So my question to Your Excellency is, what advice would you like to give to the young volunteers of both Azerbaijan and India to make them representatives of peace and leadership? So what are your top 5 things that a young volunteer should be holding to, your skills or anything? Thank you so much.
Very interesting question. What distinguishes the leader, right? So what do you think distinguishes the leader? You know, in business schools, they teach what is the leader and what is the manager. What is the difference between leader and manager? You know it? They tell that the manager comes to this room and he changes the place of the furniture. He moves the chair here, the table there. He doesn't change anything, but I mean, the items are in different places. So he manages it. Leader does not do things like that. He has a vision. So leader comes to the room and he adds something, takes out something, he changes it, and the whole atmosphere of the room is changed, right? So he discards the whole furniture, brings in new furniture, puts computers, makes it comfortable, puts some chairs, puts some area for rest, for creative thinking. That is the leader's job. So leader, he takes responsibility. Manager, he just manages things, all right? So this is the difference. Now, leader should have a vision. Without vision, you cannot lead, all right? If you do not see yourself where you're going and where you're taking people who entrusted, I mean, you, their trust and who think that you are leader, then you cannot lead them. So you should see, you have the vision, the plan, the ability to envision, that is important. Then leader, he talks to people. So the ability to talk to people, to everyone, and first of all, it's more important listening than talking, all right? So first you listen to understand what people expect from you, and then you have to speak to them and answer their concerns. So the ability to speak. And finally, I don't know if it is 5 or what, finally, the leader should be a man of big heart. Because you cannot fake trust, you cannot fake caring. You should really care because people feel. People feel that you earn their trust, you can lead. You do not earn their trust, you cannot lead. So leaders should really do not be afraid, should be sincere, should like people, should listen to people, should be able to care for them, and lead the country to the future. And don't be afraid to shoulder responsibility, because with this responsibility, I mean, without shouldering responsibility, you cannot make India great. So, and it's you, the young leaders, the Confederation of Young Leaders, who will make India proud and great.
Excellent, excellent. I think, Excellency, you covered all the points. From the Indian point of view, with your permission, Excellency, I'll just add 1 or 2 points. Can I do that? See, a leader has to lead. He should not be led. Right? So you must see the opportunity and you should be willing to swim against the current. And then people will come behind you. That is one very important. Second is you need to be focused. You see, in Mahabharata, when they asked Arjun that, can you see the fish? He said, no. He said, I can only see the eye of the fish, where he had to put the arrow. So you need to be focused. And as Excellency mentioned, there is no substitute to hard work. All those men who became great did so not by a sudden flight. They, when their comrades slept, toiled upwards in the night. But hard work with plan and strategy. Because the man who digs also works hard. So you must have a plan and strategy. And every day you have to move towards it and you have to take, and he should be a team player. He should take the team with him. Right? And you should practice what you preach. If you tell your staff to come at 9 o'clock and you come at 9:30, it doesn't work. You have to be 5 minutes before. So rest, I think what Excellency said are more important and equally important, that you must, have the vision, you must have the initiative, you must have the drive. And if you have all these things, then there is no power on earth which can stop you. जैसे शाहरुख खान ने कहा था ना कि सारी कायनात, तो you have that passion and that drive. What Swami Vivekananda said, muscles of iron and nerves of steel. Sorry, when I see young people, I get inspired.
Definitely, yes. I mean, the smart cities, smart villages doesn't mean that all the heritage, cultural heritage before is forgotten. But what you saw there, nothing is left. Yeah. Everything destroyed. I mean, there is no cultural heritage untouched left there. So in those territories, of course, there will be another cultural monuments, the new ones built. But wherever the cultural monuments are partially damaged and can be reconstructed, we would try to preserve them, and the expertise of the specialized agencies of India, including other countries, that have technology to restore, to preserve. It is very viable, it is very useful, and we would be grateful for offering the relevant agencies, and we'll communicate this information to Azerbaijani government to invite them and ask them to contribute in restoration of cultural monuments in Azerbaijan.
Mr. Goel, he's a guru of Indian tourism, and I'm also associated somehow with him. Then tourism would be the key, I mean, the mantra to have the interaction on people-to-people level, on the grassroots level. So I think, and also Mr. Soman, he always endorsed this, that the exchange on the grassroots level, people-to-people, then only maybe we can also engage more young leaders. And so what would you say that about the tourism between India and Azerbaijan? As unfortunately many people in India, they don't know these beautiful highlights of Baku or your country, or the relation in literature between from Nizam to Amir Khusro. So could you please share some insight on that? Thank you.
Thank you. Wonderful question. When it comes to tourism, I get passionate. So really, tourism is a unique industry that creates so many opportunities. Everything, I mean, business relations, it starts with tourism. Tourism gets you to know the country. Before I go there, you know what is this, the pins that we are having?
This is what I was about to ask. What is the significance of the pin?
This is an orchid. This is a flower, orchid. And that is growing in only one place in the world, in Karabakh. In Karabakh, in Azerbaijan. No anywhere else you will meet an orchid that looks like a nightingale. It's a birdie, nightingale. It's called Hari Bülbül, meaning nightingale, right? It is a symbol of restoration of territorial integrity and victory of Azerbaijan. Why I'm telling this? Because in Azerbaijan, when you go there, you will see multiple shops selling souvenirs like this, all right? There would be people traveling only for sole reason to buy and bring back home the orchid and have it in your room. And this is a unique one. There were people visiting Azerbaijan, and I thought they will be buying souvenirs. This was in pre-COVID time. And they said that, I'm collecting flowers from different countries and planting them in my garden. And I want to bring something from Azerbaijan. And at that time, of course, he could not bring Hari Bülbül. Now there is a chance to bring Hari Bülbül and plant in his garden. So tourism is something that gives you more information, because you can see all the videos, but when you visit the country, you have experience, right? When I tell you about how beautiful biryani is, it's one thing, but tasting biryani is quite another thing. So when I tell you, visit Azerbaijan, you saw it, all right? So Azerbaijan is a marvelous country to visit. It is very versatile. Now, the capital of Azerbaijan, Baku city. It is translated as City of Winds. all right? And Azerbaijan itself is translated as a land of fire. Why land of fire? Because in old times there were multiple places burning. At night, day and night they were burning because the gas was coming from under the ground. In those places were built some temples, and fire worshipping was there in old times. Now only one place remained. It is the burning hill or Yanar Dagh. That is a marvelous place. Nowhere else in the world you will see a place like that. It is burning maybe for centuries, centuries and centuries, 2,000 years, maybe more, 3,000 years. And it is preserved as a museum. So people go there, see it, take selfies, lovely place, a must to visit, and many Indian tourist groups I met there. Then there is an Tashkent temple. A Tashkent temple is a Hindu temple in Azerbaijan. And this is a must for Indian tourists to visit. When you go there, you see a lot of buses, and majority is Indian tourists. In that place, till 1960s, was also live fire. But after 1960s, something happened, some probably drilling in the neighborhood, and the fire died. But the temple, the Hindu temple, is preserved as a museum by the government of Azerbaijan, because our policy is multiculturalism. We preserve the heritage of other countries, other nations. So it is preserved there. Very interesting to see. And Baku city, as I said, it is one of the most beautiful capitals of the world. So visiting it, ladies, you should know, good shopping. Good shopping, you would love it, and quite affordable, quite affordable. So you would find wonderful clothes, souvenirs, whatever, kerchiefs, Azerbaijani kerchiefs, silk kerchiefs you would love to have. And the Kashmir shawls, the Indian shawls, they're also sold in Azerbaijan. When I'm bringing souvenirs from here to Baku, and they tell me that, well, in the shopping mall, it is available. So it shows, it starts with tourism. Now what tourism does? Tourism nourishes business travel, and tourism, and I should say film tourism, nourishes business travels. So with Indian movies being shot in Azerbaijan, Azerbaijan became more exposed, more known to Indian audience. The film Action, Vishal, Action, did you see it? Southern cinematographer, was shot in Azerbaijan. It would show you London and Istanbul, but it is not. It is all movie shot in Azerbaijan. So Ram Charan, he also shot a movie in Azerbaijan, a very good action movie. And when pandemic started in April 2020, Salman Khan had to come to Baku. And of course, it was cancelled, the lockdown in India, in Azerbaijan. So Indian movies, they nourish tourism. The Indian movies, they bring Indian weddings to Azerbaijan. With Indian weddings in Azerbaijan, it's all over Azerbaijani media. People love it. It is so colorful, so beautiful, and so many days. Yeah, and out of that, and who is coming for the weddings abroad? I mean, the business people, rich people come, they look at opportunities. So it nourishes the following business delegations, all right? And what is happening? The business, I am telling you the real story. The business delegation, one of the delegations, was like that. We were watching the movies on my smartphone. We were having tea with one distinguished person, and I was showing him some movies on YouTube about Azerbaijan. Then the next day, he called me and said that, you know, every year, and this is your words, Mr. Goel, you said that Indians, they love to travel to different places, right? And he said that every year we're traveling with a group of friends to different countries. And this time, after talking to you, I decided to go to Azerbaijan. Past 2 days, he said that we are 110 people all over India. And they went, really, 110 people, 50 business owners and the members of the family. They came to Azerbaijan, they wanted leisure, and they wanted business meetings. And I'm writing letters that please arrange them business meetings. And after that delegation, they are calling me back that please do not send on short notice. We do our best, but on short notice we cannot prepare well. So give us 1 month advance notice. I said, what is the problem, with short notice? He said, never before we had so many business delegations from India. And they are coming, and please give us 1 month advance notice. It all starts with tourism. The tourism opens the country, and the business delegations follow the tourism delegations. So, Mr. Goel, what you are doing is extremely important, and hope for tourism to rebound back.
One point, Excellency, why do all the films are being shot in Azerbaijan? Value for money. A film which will cost $1 million in UK or in any other country will cost less than $500,000 in Azerbaijan. And they will get the same quality, even if you take natural wonders or you take modern cities. Baku is a very modern city. They have a beautiful shopping mall. They have, whatever I've seen is through His Excellency. But I'm passionately trying to go there because I always have promoted new destinations. And whether it was first one to start Nepal or Sri Lanka or even Bhutan, our company was the first one. That is another thing a young leader should do. You should always be the first to initiate something, then people follow, right? So I want to be the first to really be promoting Azerbaijan in a big way. Not the ambassador showing the movies, but I want all travel agents like friends like him promoting your beautiful country. And we have about 25,000 travel agents in India who can really promote.
Then I invite you the unofficial part of the event. We can have lunch together.